Do you have any of these number 10 cans of freeze-dried food in your emergency food storage? Well, if you do, I think you've been duped. You know, the money spent on that, I think, could have been much, much better used for other items in your food storage. Hi, I'm Prepper Potpourri, and I have been making food storage, prepping, canning, and cooking videos for over 10 years on YouTube. And recently, I came to a realization. I might have been thinking about food storage wrong. And I think many of you might be also. You know, when you listen to podcasts, YouTube videos, go to websites, for food storage, what is emphasized always is long-term shelf life. But I've thought about this hard and long, and I don't think that's my goal anymore, to maximize shelf life in my emergency food storage. Instead, I have these 3 goals. First off, I want to get the most value for money spent. Second, I want to minimize nutritional loss. And third, I just want to store what my family likes to eat. Now, I urge you to come up with your own goals for your food storage. Take these commercial, canned, freeze-dried food, for instance. Now, I am not questioning the quality of these products or their shelf life whatsoever. These are great options for camping, hiking, and other activities. But are they the best for your food storage? Let me explain. What's great about these are they can last for 25, 30 years on your shelves. I mean, that is fantastic. But why do we care so much about shelf life? I mean, none of us have a 25-year food supply. If we did, we'd have to have a warehouse to keep it in. So is the length of shelf life that important? And I want to share with you, I am no longer even trying to store food for 10-year shelf life. I'm going for a 5-year shelf life. I'll explain why. When I first became a newbie prepper, that was many, many moons ago, you know, the experts were saying, store freeze-dried food. You can never go wrong. And it is amazing. The shelf life is amazing. And I bought Mountain House, Honeyville, things from the LDS store. I mean, I have a pretty good inventory. But now I look at it all, and I look at it with regret. I gotta ask, what was I preparing for? Apocalypse? I mean, really? Is that the best way to organize my food storage and spend my money? Now, as you can see here, these items take up a lot of real estate in my basement prep room. To be honest, I'll probably expire before these cans do. So I agree. They're a safety net of sort. And they do meet my goal of minimizing nutrition loss. But guess what? I have never tasted most of the meat, entrees, and veggies that I have on my shelves downstairs. That's right, I don't even know what they taste like. And the reason is, why would I want to eat, let's see here, lasagna with meat sauce when I could have my own home-canned spaghetti with meat sauce? I'm pretty sure this would taste much better. And the same is true for many of the other things I have on the shelves. It doesn't mirror the way my family eats. Those cans also do not give me the best value for money spent. I mean, look at a number 10 can of Mountain House diced chicken. It has 10.5 cups of chicken in it, and they consider 3/4 a cup a serving, which I don't think that would be a serving for my husband. But anyway, so that would leave us with 14 servings. 14 servings for almost $70. Now, I can buy 21.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken, and I could can it up myself, ugly chicken, as it's called by Lisette Sutton's days. And that would equate to 64.5 cups of chicken, canned. So if I was figuring a cup of chicken as a serving, it would give me over 64 servings as compared to Mountain House's 14 servings. Much better, don't you think? If I wasn't a canner, I could have also purchased 27 cans of this commercially canned chicken for the same price as that $70. And it would store for at least 2 years on my shelves and give me 56 servings as opposed to 14 servings. Again, a much better deal for money spent. And do you know that I could get 25 cans of Spam for that same amount of money? And there are 6 2-ounce servings in every can of Spam, and that equates to 170 calories, which is the same as the Mountain House serving size. So with Spam, those 25 cans, I'd have 150 servings as opposed to the 14 servings of freeze-dried. Yes, that freeze-dried chicken is probably healthier for you, but you know, in an SHTF situation, will it really matter? What about an entree like this beef stew? This number 10 can has 10 servings, 200 calories each, for about $57. At your local Walmart, you can also buy Dinty Moore beef stew. 2 servings per this 20-ounce can, and each of those servings also have 200 calories. The difference is you could have 18 cans for the same price as this. So, 36 servings or 10? What's the better value? So my point is, yeah, my hard-earned money could have been much better spent. Now, does give me some peace of mind, what I call my apocalyptic supplies. But just think of what else I could have bought with this money. You may be different. You might regularly incorporate freeze-dried items in your regular cooking. So then, if that's what your family is used to and what you like, that makes sense for you. But that's not the way my family eats. And for me, these number 10 cans are out of sight, basically, out of mind, downstairs in a little room off my prep room, fills up the shelves. And I rarely look at them because, like I said, we don't eat them. You know, these number 10 cans have great long shelf life, but they're just sitting in a little room off my prep room, filling up the shelves, and I rarely look at them unless, like today, I was bringing them up for a video, and something could happen. You know, there could be a punctured can, a rust happening, maybe there's some moisture, or something happens and the pouches that I have, which are like this, kept in a Rubbermaid container, somehow rodents get into it and start nibbling it. The longer they're on my shelves, the more something could happen. The other thing is, these freeze-dried food depend on another very, very precious item when we're talking about food storage, and that's water. Depending on the SHTF situation, water might be scarce. And you know what? I could eat, might not want to, but I could eat right out of this can, this beef stew. And the same thing could be true of my home canned goods. They already have the fluid in them. They don't need additional water. So that's something to think about too if you're just depending on freeze-dried food for your food storage. In that case, I really recommend increasing your water storage. So in addition to commercial freeze-dried items, I kind of question some other things. You know, we package something in Mylar so it'll keep even longer, right? Put an oxygen absorber and hopefully it extends its life. But is that always necessary? You know, I used to have like a big Mylar bag in a bucket and pour in, like, let's say, a bunch of beans, put in some oxygen absorbers, seal it up, put a gamma lid on it, and then never think about it again, basically. But I have changed that. I now put my different items in smaller bags with oxygen absorbers and seal it. So it's more how I cook. So I am going to rotate through this food supply much quicker. And we know that, like Mountain House, right? They say there's really no nutrition loss after 30 years. But we don't know if we are vacuum packing and sealing a package of food, if that same thing is true. You can open it up, it will look completely fine, but there is no way for me to judge if there's been nutritional loss or not. The best thing is just to rotate through quicker, and then I won't have to worry about any nutritional loss. So, as I matured as a prepper, I have focused more on food storage rotation rather than what I call the store and forget method. If you've watched my channel, you know I really increased my canning. I can a lot of meats, right? And even entrees. This is teriyaki chicken, which is very, very good over rice. And I no longer care if something has a long shelf life because I'm trying to rotate through my home canned goods. I try to rotate through on a 3-year basis. Don't always make it, but my other items I try to rotate through on a 5-year basis, or depending on when it's a good idea. For instance, like commercially canned tomatoes, I'm a little bit more careful because of the acid in aluminum can. Remember, the quicker I rotate through, the less nutritional loss, and rotating these items give me more space to store a variety of foods, which makes my family very happy. Now for you, freeze-dried might be a solution. Maybe you are incorporating that into your meal preparation and it is what your family is used to. Hey, if it works for you, great. Just doesn't for me. Now, our freezers are full of meat and veggies and fruit that might be from our own garden or purchased. And yes, we do have alternative power sources just in case we lose power. We really prefer frozen meat to freeze dry. And the same is true for many vegetables. We prefer frozen broccoli to freeze dried or dehydrated. It just tastes more like fresh. And as you can see here, home canned items line my prep room shelves. And if I want a quick meal, like I said, this chicken teriyaki, just make up some rice, pour this on top, and I have a wonderful meal for my family very, very quickly and inexpensive. And like I said, using smaller packages of stored items that I plan to rotate through much quicker than 10 or 20 or 25 years, because this works for my family, what we like, what we are used to eating. I've evolved as a prepper, and I urge you to not just follow a prepping expert, and that includes me. Determine how your family uses food storage. What do you want from food storage? Maybe you do just want that apocalyptic supply and it's just kept on a shelf And it's, again, the store and forget method, and gives you peace of mind, and that's it. Fine, if that works for you. But like I said, I spent a lot of money that I could have spent better for my family's food pantry. So if you have that desire and money, and you have the storage space required for that 25-year plus freeze-dried food, please go ahead if that makes you happy and gives you peace of mind. But don't do it because a prepping expert told you to do that. So I'm curious, what shelf life do you aim for in your emergency pantry? And if you're interested in how to add shelf-stable meats, fish, and seafood to your emergency pantry, watch this video.